Okay, we're going to go over the playground here for some basic math functions and switches. So the first is basic math is var x equals int optional. Anytime you use an int optional, you need to make sure and to use an exclamation point afterwards. So we have var x int optional, var y equals 10, x equals 10, x equals x plus y. So the result is x plus y to x, and then x equals y. The reason sum shows up here is because when you use an optional integer, it's basically going to come up with two cases, either none or sum. So an optional with a value is some value, nil is none. Next is continuing on with arithmetic. Var a equals -10, a unary operation to sign -10. A equals a minus 5 is going to give us 15. -10 minus -5, -15. Increment, decrement. This example here is var z is an integer with 20 as initialized. Z equals z plus 1 increases the value by 1 to 21. Z equals z minus 1 decreases it by 1, giving it 20. Comparison operator. Variant value 1, variant value 2, and value 1, 20, and value 2 is 70. If int value 1 is less than int value 2, you're going to print out value is smaller, else value is larger. If we change the test here from lesser than to greater than, now it shows larger instead of smaller. Incrementing. Anytime in code you use incrementing to determine a list of items possibly. So we have for var equals 5, I equals 5, while I is less than 75, it's going to increment by 1. In this example here, it's going to print out the value I is I at each loop from 5 until it reaches 75 by 1. So 70 times. And so here, I'll go ahead and click on this to show. Started out at 5, all the way exit that out. Five all the way to 75 by 1. And it goes to 74 because 74 will be the last one in the value loop. To decrement that, we're going to switch the values here a little bit. For I equals 75, while I is greater than 5, it's going to decrement it by 1 and print that value. So I'll get rid of this code here, or this output here, real quick. And let's bring this one up. Starts at 75, all the way down to 6. Last one here in increment is var equals 5, I equals 5, while I is less than 75, it's going to increment by 2 by using I equals I plus 2. If we want to increment by 3, we do I equals I plus 3, so on and so forth. So starting out at 5, while it's less than 75, it's going to increment it by 1, and it gets 35 loops here in this example. So let's bring that one up. Starts at the value 5, all the way to 73 by 2. Switch statements. Switch statements are used to determine what values fall within what range and then display something or do something within your code. Here we have a var value is a 4. We're going to need to take that and put it in a switch. So this is 4, and it's going to fall in one of these cases. Case 0, 1, or 2, 3, 4, 5, or default. whichever case it falls in, it's going to go to that line of code afterwards. So because it's value 4, it's going to fall in the case 4. Let's change it to 1. Now it falls in case 0, 1, and 2. Ranges. Ranges are used also within cases. Var temperature equals 90, using 90 as a switch. Case 0 through 49, 50 through 79, 80 through 10. Because it's 90, it's going to fall in this range here and display hot. I'll change this to 32. Now it's going to change it to cold. Lastly, the where, adding a where to the range. Var temp equals 53. It's going to be case 0 to 49, where temp is even. I'll change this back to 54. And so it's going to fall in this range here because it is fall in that range, 50 to 79, and that temp is even. So that concludes the flow switch functions. Hope you enjoyed it.